right, so today we're here with the Instant Pot Pro Crisp. It is the air fryer pressure cooker combo from Instant Pot. It's the newest combination they have available. There's a lot of things you're really going to love about this machine. So I'm Jen.
And I'm Barbara.
We're with Pressure Cooking today. This has a lot of the features that the Instant Pot Pro has. It's got the black stainless steel exterior. It's got kind of the combination button dial system. It's got all of that, plus it's got the air fryer lid that's made to fit into it. So it's got this spot on the top that plugs right into the air fryer lid.
The Pro is what I keep on my counter. It's the one that I really love. So it's combined that with the air fryer features, which is really fun.
Yep. So we will get into first to talk about the parts that come with it. So this one comes with your basic pressure cooker lid, and it comes with the pot and 2 sealing rings. And then it also comes with the air fryer lid, a little trivet that you can use as a rack or for air frying. The trivet is really cool. It can fold under and stand up in your pot, and it's nice and tall. So I love that about it. So these work as handles when it's down low, and it pops up when you need a taller thing.
And it also comes with this basket for
Air frying.
Has a inner little rack that you just grab and pull out. It has a rim that it sits on. So you could do 2 layers of cooking.
My kids love it when I do chicken nuggets and French fries and it just straight from the freezer section. They're happy, I'm happy.
This base just pops off for easy cleaning.
Yep. And then the thing I love about the Pro Series is the pot with handles. It is a flat bottom pot, so it's fine to use on the stovetop if you need to. And the handles make it so that when you're stirring, your pot doesn't spin. It just stays nice right in place.
Yeah, it's a nice stainless steel pot, so you don't have to worry about scratching it.
All right, so how to clean these. Instant Pot says that their inner pots are dishwasher safe. I still prefer to hand wash mine. I kind of baby my pots.
And I always put it in the dishwasher, just the inner pot.
Yeah, so this right here is called your housing. This housing is kind of the magic that makes the Instant Pot work. It's got the heater element in there, the heating element. And it's got nice thick to keep it nice and warm. You never want to put liquids inside your housing, ever, ever, ever. So when I'm cooking, and I've got my pot out to like fill it up with stock or do something else, I just put a little wooden spoon right over the top of it to just as a visual signal, like, hey, don't be in such a hurry that you add liquid to your pot because it can damage it or just make a huge giant mess.
Almost every day on Facebook, someone says, oh, I dumped water in my pot. So just taking that little extra step helps so that you don't have that problem.
Yep. So this you would just wash off with a damp cloth. Anything that gets in along here, just take a little cloth and like fold it under, just kind of rub it. You can get a little bit of soap on it to clean this inside top part if you want to. Just make sure you rinse it well with a not too damp rag. It's got the condensation cup on the back.
So it has a little hole right here, and any liquid that gets in here will come into the condensation cup, and it just slides forward. So some people often say, well, what's that little cup for? And it's just to collect the water.
And oftentimes you won't even see much in it, but if you're cooking a lot of like super bubbly foods like pastas or whatnot, that's when I notice it filling up most often.
Yeah.
So inner pot is dishwasher safe. These, again, I hand wash everything. I believe you could put that in the dishwasher too if you wanted to.
Yeah, this can go in the dishwasher. Some people even put the lid in. I prefer it's dishwasher safe on the top rack, but I prefer to wash it by hand just because it takes up so much space.
Yeah, and I don't like to risk getting liquid in there because sometimes like you'll pick it up and you'll get a little bit of liquid dripping. So inside you've got your silicone ring.
So this gasket has to be in place when you're pressure cooking.
Yeah, it won't pressure cook without it. It will release steam out the side. So to get it in, you just take it, line it up, and just start pushing in from one side, and then just go around the edge. I just like to hold it up and just run my finger around the edge to get it nice and seated right in there. You want to make sure if you have even just a little bit out, your food will not come to pressure and you'll start getting steam leaking out the side. So you want to be really take that extra second and double check that everything's in place.
So you have an anti-clog valve.
And that just kind of pops off. It can be a little tight at first. Some people will take one of those little like chair leg covers that you could get at the hardware store for like $1 and just fit it right on top and pull it off. The inch size works really great. You can use a butter knife to kind of help pry it off. After the first couple times, this is not that hard to remove. You just pop it back in place. And then this here is our float valve. That's what helps it come to pressure. So to get it out, I'll just put my finger in the little float valve hole right there, push it down. Come on, buddy. And then you can pull off the silicone gasket, this little mini gasket, and this will just fall right into your hand. You want to make sure you don't lose this. It doesn't work if this goes down the drain.
So yeah, that and the gasket, we usually just wash those by hand, just keep them in our hands. We don't even put them down in the dishwasher.
No, I'll wash it, rinse it, dry it, and then put it immediately back in place because I tend to lose things and I don't like it. So again, you just kind of push it on like that. Oops. Push it right on in. You want to make sure that the silicone mini gasket is in place too. So we're good there. I guess now it's time to talk about this. Let's see, it goes back this way.
So one of the nice features of the Pro is it has this cover. It covers the steam release valve.
The steam release valve does come off, and if you get things that foam, you'll need to clean it out, but it just comes off and you can rinse it. But when the pressure releases, instead of coming out in a big sharp steam, this cover just goes over the top.
Kind of diffuses it and makes
billowy,
it softer,
pretty.
So you don't get as scary steam. It just diffuses it a little bit more.
And then you can see the pink float valve right up there near the top. That's the one we just talked about taking out from this other side. And when the pressure cooker comes to pressure, it's going to rise up, so you'll be able to see it a lot better. And then you have your pressure release switch.
Yeah, so it says on here vent or seal, and to cook, you have it on seal, and to release the pressure, you just switch it to vent.
And one thing you want to be aware of is that when you're releasing the pressure, you don't want to switch it to vent with your hand right over the pressure release area. Otherwise, the steam's going to get to it. Just go off to the side and just switch it that way.
Right. And one of the nice features of this Pro model is when you open it, it automatically goes back to the sealed position. So you don't have to remember to do that. We love that feature.
Because I tend to forget all the time. And so I'd be off playing with the kids or something. I'd be like, why is it making that noise? It's because the steam was coming out the vent because I forgot to seal it. So you don't have to remember anymore. I love that about this. And then just if you're wondering, it has this lid. It's got this quick cool tray that is an optional thing that you can buy to kind of put in there. This is just a cover. This stainless steel gets really hot. And so they put the cover on there to help keep clumsy people like me from.
Right, so you can actually get the quick cool tray. It doesn't come with this. It's an extra accessory, and you put ice in it, and that just helps to release the pressure a little quicker.
Especially when you're making something like a broth or something that's cooked for a long, long time. For pasta, I didn't notice any difference, but for like long cooking things, that's when it shines. Okay, so we're gonna put the lid on. It's got a little open close here and a little notch, and you'll line that up with the notch along the front. And just, come on, little, put it down and then twist it into the locked close position. At this point, that lid is locked on there. You're not going to be able to take it off. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the buttons. You can see we've got the pressure cooking settings on this side, and you've got your air fryer settings on this side. We'll deal with the air fryer lid next. So first, let's start off with our two basic functions. Always, always, always pressure cook and saute. That is the bread and butter of pressure cooking. That is where it's at.
That's the ones that you'll use the most, the ones that you need to know.
Yep. So first to saute, we always saute with the lid off. Okay, so we're going to choose saute. And you see it comes up with a time. 30 minutes is more than enough. You're never going to spend 30 minutes sauteing.
Right, that's the default time. So we generally just leave it there.
And then along the bottom, you'll see where it says high. If you press the middle button as like a select yes, 30 minutes is fine. Now what's flashing is the temperature options. You can choose from high, you can set a custom level, or you can choose low. The custom level, if you want to adjust that, you switch over to custom and you press that, you press enter again, and then you can adjust. Level 6 is the highest, level 1 is the lowest, and you can just adjust your custom level there. We often cook on level 5, just
you like to get it done fast and quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing a nice sear, you want it as high as you can get it. So you get that pot hot, and then you put your meat in and you'll get a great sear. Or if I'm sauteing vegetables, I might choose a level 3 so that it's a little more gentle. Mm-hmm. If I'm thickening the sauce, I might choose a 1.
I rarely change it. I just leave it on 5 all the time, but that mom's food turns out fancy. So saute 30 minutes on high, and you hit start. One of the differences between this Instant Pot model and many other models is that it does have a start button, and you have to hit it or it doesn't stay on. So as you can see, the display changes to on, and we've got these little progress bars along the top. And as the pot gets hot, these progress bars will...
Yeah, it advances, so you know when it's ready to go ahead and add your oil and to get sauteing. That's one of the features that we really like about the Pro.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to show you how to pressure cook. We're just going to do what we call the water test.
The water test is a really great way for you to get familiar with your machine, especially if you're a little hesitant, you've never used an electric pressure cooker before and you're feeling a little nervous. This is going to make you realize how easy it really is.
So we're just going to add a cup of water.
Inner pot, again, you want to get in the habit, make sure your inner pot's in place. And then we'll lock our lid in place. So line up your arrows. Oh, and always check to make sure your gasket's in place. Then line up the arrows and lock the lid until it's sealed.
Right, and then we're going to select
Pressure, cook. And then right now it's flashing 25 minutes, so you just turn the time to adjust the timer. We'll just do a 1 minute cook time. And then it already has the pressure at high, so we don't have to change anything, so we can just hit start. And it switches to on. And then you see these progress bars along the top are going to let you know how close it is to building pressure. Just like a pot of water on the stovetop doesn't immediately boil when you turn on the gas, a pressure cooker doesn't automatically reach pressure when you turn it on. That water in the pot needs to boil to build up that steam that'll lift your float valve and allow it to reach its temperature. Okay, so it went through that 1 minute pressure cook time, and you see how it's starting to count up over here. It's on the keep warm setting. It automatically flips over to that keep warm setting when it's done. So to release the pressure, we're just going to push this little switch. All right, so when you take the lid off, you want to make sure you vent it away from you. So don't open it towards your face, open it away. So twist to unlock, pull it off, and it's a lot of steam. Kind of water will accumulate along the lid, so just kind of shake it off over there. And then do you see these little edges on the handles? They fit right into these back sides of the Instant Pot. These are called lid fins, and you can just put it right in there.
So that's the basics of pressure cooking. Now we're going to show you the air fryer lid.
First, I'm going to dump out this water. When you are air frying, you want a dry pot. All right, so the air fryer lid is really nice. It's got this little storage container thing on the bottom that doubles as a trivet. So when it's hot, you can use it the other way, but it just unscrews, and then you line it up and twist it to screw it back on. When this part is hot, you don't want to just put it right down on your counter. So you flip it over, and this side becomes a heat-safe place for you to put it while it cools down. It's really a nice feature. So do you see how it's got these little 6 pins right here, and it's got this little groove there? They line up exactly on the lid with this little insert part and that, I don't know what you would call that, a little button thing that presses down when this presses that little button down when it's in place.
Okay, so you just line those up, and it'll make a little jingle. You lock down the top, and you go ahead and set your buttons.
One of the nice things about this Instant Pot Pro is that it knows what lid you're using. So if I tried to do a pressure cook setting with the air fryer lid in place, it gives you this lid error message to let you know the wrong lid is in place. So we're going to press the air fry button, and then you'll see we've got a time and a temperature. So first you set the time, just twist it up or down to the desired time, and then hit the middle button to be enter, and then you can adjust your temperature up or down, and then when it's ready, you just press start. Right there.
So it's a little bit loud.
And you need 5 inches of space on each side because of all the air it kicks out. It kicks out a ton of air from up here. When you've got cold hands, it's really nice. You'll come stand behind it and just warm your hands up on it. So when you're air frying, you always want to make sure you're using your air fryer basket or the trivet. You don't want to just leave your food on the bottom. So it just slides right on in. I love these little handles. It will be hot when you take it out, so you're going to want to use your mini mitts or some tongs to kind of scoop through there. Sometimes we'll use big forks if we're in a hurry.
Right, and you can do 2 levels, or you could just do a big batch of it and then toss it in between.
Yep. So we'll put that in and put our air fryer lid on. Line those up. So while you're air frying, periodically the display will change and tell you, turn your food, turn your food. I think it's every 5-10 minutes. And it's generally a good practice to do that because it doesn't quite cook evenly, so what's on the bottom isn't nice as crispy as what's on top. So you want to give it a good stir. And then for that last minute, it counts down minutes and seconds instead of just counting down minutes like normal. Then when you're done, you just take the lid off. It will be very hot, and you just set it right down on that. And then your food will be ready.
Yeah, and grab your mini mitts and you're good to go.
All right, that's it for this video with the Instant Pot Pro Crisp. If you have more questions about it, we've got a really in-depth review on our website. We'll link that down in the description. We'll tell you exact measurements, how to mute it, all sorts of stuff. So you can go there. Be sure to like and subscribe our videos. And
leave us a comment.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.